Hi everyone, it's Niamh here and welcome to my art journaling channel. Today we're going to be looking at how I created the pages within this little junk journal that I had on my video earlier on. Here's just a really quick flip through of the little journal I've got. And basically it was created using the new collage spikes from Dina Wakley, folded over and made into little signatures. So now I had to decorate the insides and I wasn't sure what I was going to do, so I was just playing around. I love the fact these vintage images fit really, really nicely with the bold colours. And you can see I'm all over the place here. So I'm stamping on some, I'm putting vintage images on others. It is a riot of what you can do in a book. One of the things I have found when you're doing stuff like this, particularly in little mini books, is have a scrap of paper so that when you're stamping, obviously you're not going to stamp onto the page next to it, particularly you've got a variety of different sized pages. So I quite often will have scraps of paper hanging around that I can do some trimming off. Because these pages are so decorated, it was a bit, what do I want to do with this? Do I want to leave as much free as possible, or do I want to add something to it? I'm also not working consecutively. I had to try and think of the word there. I'm sort of flipping backwards and forward. One of the reasons is I stamped on that first page and I really wasn't 100% happy with it. So now I was trying to do something that I was a bit more happier with this page. At the moment I'm trying to find my masks, which I just found. And I thought having sort of this masky of the leaf coming up through would be nice. I decided that I'd go in with a darker colour, so to play with the colours on the page. So it sort of stayed in the same vein as the rest of the page, but you could see those colours coming through. One of the things I really like about working with the Dina Wakley stuff, and it's my personal preference, acrylic paints are acrylic paints, but she obviously used her own paints, which is, you know, her paints is a reason why she does it. But I can, because I know the range so well, I can match up what colours she's used and match them up to the colours I have. So I knew that there's sort of a lapis blue watered down were used in the background there, so putting the straight lapis over the top, you've got something that works really, really well. So sometimes it's helpful using the same colour schemes. But as I said, paint is paint, so use whatever you've got. It works just as well. One of the things I really like to do with my vintage people is to draw over the top of them with my paint pens. Always a good idea to remember to heat set them. Acrylic paint will set, it's not going to rub off, but just while you're working on it, because it's going on a slick surface, it just takes that little bit longer to dry. And as you can see, I put my hands everywhere, so I'm quite good at, you know, smearing stuff and putting my hands straight through it, so just be aware. Because I wanted to add a little bit of extra brightness to the page, I went in with my neon pink pen and add a little bit of light making, so to pick up some of the pink that is in his shirt. And you can kind of see that visual triangle. There's a bit of pink behind where I put that mask, so, you know, creating that little loop effect was good. And when obviously that is folded over, you're just going to see a little bit of him peeping out, but you get an impression that there's something happening underneath. One thing I do like to do with all my figures, if you've seen before, is to pop a bit of a shadow around them. So I just might use my Stabilo oil pencil to do that. Just pops it out, makes it sort of stand out against the background. I also like to outline my quotes just so they stand out. You can see me going back into that page and thinking, oh, what did I do? So, you know, add some neon. It's some Niamh, why not? Again, with the stamping, I still wasn't sure, so I added more stamping, and I was like, but it is what it is. So drawing over my main image just to pop it out a little bit again, and just to darken up some of those stamped bits and pieces. My archival ink pad needed a re-ink desperately, so I don't think I did it in this video, but I think for my next one I actually re-inked it, and it made such a difference. So it is funny, you think that, oh, it doesn't need anything, and it really does. I decided that she needed a bit of a butterfly on her head, so I stuck that on too. You can see you know, thinking process here is all over the place. Once I had my bag of masks out, I also found my people masks, so I decided that I'd have a go with that, and then pop a little bit of neon on the inside, just making little dots to add a little bit of interest into that. Again, a lot of the pages in this are really simple, and using what's in the background as the main focus, I suppose. So I don't want to take away from what's in the background too much, because I like what's happening. So I just wanted everything to be pretty simple. The good thing about masks is once you've got them, you can do a little bit of spritzing around it and get sort of this starry background. I like to use my fan brush. I try not to touch my fan brush onto my page, which I did there. So there's got a bit of a crescent happening over his head. But it's a really quick and easy way to get good splat. Well, I find I get good splats using that. Then I decided to do a little bit of journaling, or put a quote in within the face. So just using my white pen again to bounce it up a little bit. You can still see what's happening in the background, but you've now got this text over the top. And that's that page, really simple. So you can sort of see me flipping, oh, where do I want to go next? So on this page, I really liked, I did have a height there, I didn't like it, so I decided to put them on the other page. And when I had the washi there, I decided to add a little bit of extra washi onto the page with this handwriting one. And that was much it for that page, just adding those extra few little touches of washi. And I'm going to add the vintage girl on. Just trim it off so it fits on. I quite like making sure everything sort of touches the edges, so I'm quite happy to sort of put shoulders off and chop the shoulders off. It works out well for me. This one of the new transparencies, little crowns, and they're just perfect for the little vintage people. So I'm just chucking a crown on her head. Was going to put some wings on her, but they didn't quite work. And then because I had the metallic up on the crown, I decided to put some on her body as well, just to get that touch of sort of vintage royalty happening. Using my Stabilo Ore pencil, just drawing over to get some detail into the flowers as well. And then going back in and putting the eyes in. Makes them look a bit, I suppose, creepy, which is why I blotched it off a little bit by putting the extra green on. But I will go back and put the white on the eyes, because I find that works really well. Then I'm just finding a stamp that will go on my page. And I got this one. This is your moment. This moment is your life. And because it didn't stamp particularly well, just because there's two levels, those... Hi everyone, so this is a little book I ended up making with all the new Dina Wakley bits and pieces. The base of the book is made using the new Collage Spikes collection. This Collage Spikes collection 3, so the double-sided 4x6 sheets. I use Collage collection 1 for this little book. Just fold them up to make this little junk journal. So it's got all sorts of different bits and pieces in here because I got carried away. I actually used the back of the journal is the cardboard from the back of this, because it's really nice and solid, so I could stick the ribbon in. And I've just filled it with all sorts of different goodies. So it started off with the collage background, and then I've added paint over top and stenciling, mic making, masking. I've cut leftover bits and used those to collage over the top. You can see on this page it's mostly the background. I've just added in a little bit of washi, one of the paper dolls, a little bit of the new crown from the new transparencies. So 3 new transparency set, one with faces, which I've used lots of. One with lots of frames and so on in it, and then this circle one, which is where the crowns have come from. So you'll see lots of different bits and pieces you go through. And this is just a bit of a, I suppose, all the old masks, old stamps, new collage transparencies, the new can't find it, stencils from the last release, Again, this page in the background is pretty much as is. I haven't done much to it apart from stick the paper doll over it. Whereas this one, I've done some of the mask, stenciling over top, cut out some bits of, used the stencil to cut out some little collage photo, which you can see on this page too. Put some stenciling in the background. Again, this one's pretty much as is with just a doll added over the top. This one as well, just a simple frame on it and one of the figures from the transparency set. This one has most of the background. I used the colours to do a little bit of splatter on the background and then added in some of the circular transparencies. This one is a large transparency that I've just cut and put over the background. So again, really simple way to fill up your pages really quickly. Same with this one. All I've done in here is just add in a little transparency over here, a little bit of stenciling and some collage at the top, which is the offcuts from cutting these out. So nothing went to waste. This page, again, just a little thing here, a little crown. Popped on a stamp here, used my collage, the leftovers from cutting out those leaves. You'll see those pop up quite a few places. I love this little girl, and that's my favourite washi tape from Dina as well. The little crown on her head. Again, those little frames, just changing it up by putting little white dots in it. So really easy to change over. And at the end of the book, again, you can see my offcuts to make little borders. Big transparency face that I've glued down. This book has been bound using the tab binding, which I know Dina has got a video on how to do as well. Really simple binding. I've got a few videos on my channel to do it, and I will pop how I made this book together on the beginning, but it doesn't show you how to decorate it. But I'm pretty sure you can do that yourself. There's it can be as simple or as complex as you fancy, but it's just such a really fun little book to pop together. So thank you for watching. Until next time, bye for now.